Ah, Sensei always looks so wonderful. I'm Kei Ariga, a 28-year-old who's been into reading since childhood. Today, I'm out for the first time in a while, because there was a signing event for my favorite author.
And then that guy was seriously plain and...
Whoa! I'm sorry, are you hurt?
Oh, it's nothing. I just bumped into a guy who's way less impressive than Satoru.
Ignoring me, huh? Well, maybe I wasn't paying attention either, but still. Annoyed at the woman who walked away without apologizing, I gathered up the items that had fallen from my bag and moved to the side of the road. Okay, let's see. The signed book, my wallet, and my planner. As I checked the items I had picked up, a timid voice reached my ears.
You dropped this?
What? This is... What she handed me was a small bookmark. It was a limited edition item I had just purchased at the signing event. Oh, thank you! If I had noticed this was missing after I got home, I would have been so devastated I wouldn't have been able to eat for 3 days.
Actually, I'm a fan of the author too. I bought the same bookmark earlier today.
Cute! So this is what it feels like to fall in love at first sight, I thought to myself. Her gentle smile seemed to shine brighter than anything else in the bustling city.
I'm sorry for holding you up. Well, I should be going.
Wait, please, if you don't mind, would you like to go out for a meal with me? As a thank you for picking up my bookmark. If we part ways here, we might never see each other again. Thinking that, I leaned forward a bit too eagerly, which seemed to make her more flustered. Realizing I was being too pushy, I took a deep breath and lowered my voice. Oh, sorry. I got a bit excited when I found out you're also a fan of the author. If it's not too much trouble, I would like to spend a little more time with you, but... is that too much to ask? The few seconds until she spoke again felt like an eternity filled with both hope and anxiety.
Well, if you're okay with someone like me...
Yes! With a triumphant cheer in my heart, I led her to a nearby cafe. I see. So your favorite work is that one, Tsukishiro-san. After we introduced ourselves, I brought up the topic of books. It seems we have similar tastes in literature, and though Tsukishiro-san seemed shy, tumbling over her words, we had a lively conversation about various works.
Yes, exactly! The delicate descriptions are impressive, and the way the foreshadowing is resolved is brilliant, isn't it? Even though it's set in a sci-fi world, you can naturally empathize with the characters. No matter how many times I read it, I'm always moved. Oh, sorry. I must be talking too much.
Not at all. I was just thinking that, Tsukishiro-san, you look really cute when you're talking so earnestly.
Cute?
Tsukishiro-san's cheeks turned as red as an apple, making her look even more adorable. Our conversation continued without a pause, and I must have made a good impression, because we exchanged contact info before parting ways that day. Since then, Tsukishiro-san and I have gone on several dates. We are currently on our 3rd date. So, Tsukishiro-san, you're a proofreader? That sounds tough, having to focus intently on reading all the text.
Yes! Honestly, it can be scary to correct someone's work in red ink. But there are moments when I feel glad to be doing this job. Some authors write a thank you message on the manuscript. When that happens, it feels like my work is recognized, and it's very rewarding. It makes me so happy that I sometimes get completely absorbed in my work, forgetting about myself. Tsukishiro-san is more focused on her work than fashion. I think that makes her even more wonderful.
It's people like Tsukishiro-san who support the creation of great books. Your work and your way of thinking are really admirable, Tsukishiro-san.
Thank you. I think you're a wonderful person too, Ariga-san.
As if gathering courage, Tsukishiro-san's clenched fist trembled slightly. This is really getting to me.
I've always been overly concerned with how others perceive me, so I'm not really good at talking to or hanging out with people. But Arika-san, you always listen to my interests and plan our dates in a way that makes me comfortable. I've always thought you're amazing for being so considerate. But I'll try to be more assertive and start telling you where I want to go so that I don't leave everything to you.
Of course, I'm looking forward to the day when you can share your requests with me, Tsukishiro-san. People who care too much about others' opinions often suppress their desires, worrying about what others might think. As we talked, I realized that Tsukishiro-san might be that type, which is why I had been trying to be considerate. But to think she noticed that and even said she would make an effort for my sake. So, does this mean she's interested in me? I really wanted to be with Tsukishiro-san, so I had been careful to close the distance between us at her pace. But if she feels the same way about me, there is no reason to hesitate. Now's the time to confess! Just as I was getting ready to make my move.
I'd feel really reassured if you stayed by my side as a friend, Arika-san.
Friend. Yeah, right. I would be happy if we could keep getting closer and closer, Tsukishiro-san. A friend. So, to Tsukishiro-san, I'm still not a romantic interest. But we'll keep seeing each other, so there's still a chance. As I pulled myself out of the disappointment, I smiled at Tsukishiro-san. Time passed, and today's our 5th date. For the first time, Tsukishiro-san made a request. She wanted to go to an art museum, so we were heading there with smiles, but...
Oh my! Isn't this the plain girl who's never had a boyfriend before? You finally got a boyfriend at your age? Isshiki-san.
Encountering this woman on our way there suddenly dampened her mood.
He's as dull as you, but I guess you two suit each other, right?
She scrutinized me from head to toe, then snorted derisively.
I guess it's true that if you don't put in the effort to stay pretty, you won't be able to catch a decent guy. Oh, by the way, my boyfriend is a best-selling author. Sorry if I made you feel the difference in our levels.
If your boyfriend is a famous person, maybe you should refrain from saying things that could hurt his reputation. Image matters when it comes to book sales. I think you should be more mindful of that.
What? What are you saying that's damaging his reputation? Don't be rude.
Annoyed by my comment, the woman stomped away angrily.
Arika-san, I'm sorry for causing you trouble.
Upon asking, I learned that the woman, Takano Isshiki, works at the same publishing house as Tsukishiro-san. She's an editor for a fashion magazine and often mocks Tsukishiro-san, who has a more subdued appearance.
Because I'm like this, being with me means Arika-san will be subjected to those kind of things too.
That's not true! My strong voice made Tsukishiro-san flinch slightly as she timidly raised her face. What just happened was entirely that Isshiki person's fault, not yours, Tsukishiro-san. You're the one who praised me for being myself, allow me to be comfortable. You even said that when you're with me, you want to express yourself more, right? There's no way I would feel bad being around someone as hardworking as you, Tsukishiro-san. By the time we arrived at the museum, Tsukishiro-san's expression had brightened somewhat. I hoped that I had managed to lighten her heart, even if just a little.
Wow, so that's what happened?
A few days later, in the company cafeteria, Tsukishiro-san was telling her colleague Hinano Akechi about Isshiki-san.
But I still wonder if changing my appearance would stop people from looking down on me when I'm with someone. Isshiki-san once told me that a plain-looking person like me would look even more ridiculous if I tried to dress up. What do you think, Hinano-chan? Hey, are you listening? Hinano-chan? Takanori Isshiki. I can't forgive her for insulting my adorable Miko. Whoa! Hinano-chan, there's a terrifying aura coming from behind you. Don't worry, Miko. This incarnation of truth, justice, and beauty, Hinano Akechi, We'll avenge you! Wait! You're like a tokusatsu hero! Stop that before the higher-ups get mad! Well, jokes aside, personally I think it'd be great if you had more confidence and enjoyed dressing up. But what really matters is what that guy thinks, right? Why not just ask him directly? Sometimes, people are more pleased by effort put into other areas than appearances. I know some people who don't place much importance on looks. I see. Yeah, you're right. I'll make sure to ask him properly. Thanks, Hinano-chan. So...
Akechi-san closes in on Tsukishiro-san.
Miko, what do you think of him? Are you still just friends? Well, that's...
Afterward, Tsukishiro-san was relentlessly questioned by Akechi-san for a while. A few weeks later, I attended a party celebrating the 50th anniversary of a publishing company called Lovekoi Publishing. As expected, it's a grand event to mark such a milestone year. I usually don't attend these kinds of events. As I was glancing around the hotel venue, I heard someone call out to me.
Huh? Ariga-san?
What? Tsukishiro-san? Meeting someone unexpectedly at such a place, I couldn't help but raise my voice. I was surprised. The venue itself was surprising, but so was how Tsukishiro-san seemed more glamorous than usual. But that makeup and dress suit you very well. You look beautiful.
Thank you. I had some help from my colleagues to get this far.
Tsukishiro-san shyly shrinks back. Then she timidly opens her mouth.
So, Ariga-san, do you prefer women who always dress like this? Not that I haven't been trying to look nice before, but should I also put more effort into my appearance when we go out together?
If you want to work on your appearance, I'll be happy to support and help you, of course. But personally, I think you look radiant when you're being yourself, no matter what you're wearing or how you style your hair. No matter how you look, Tsukishiro-san, you always shine in my eyes. The smile you showed me when we first met, your determination to try for my sake. Each memory with you shines brightly in my heart.
Ariga-san, thank you. Well,
Wait, is this reaction... could it be? Curious about Tsukishiro-san's reaction, I decided to change the subject for now. By the way, since you're attending this party, does that mean the company you work for is...
Oh yes, I work at Lovekoi Publishing. Ariga-san, you're not one of our employees, right? Are you here as a guest?
Actually...
I was wondering who it was, but it's that scruffy-looking guy you were with the other day. What are you doing in a place like this?
Right. She mentioned this person was her colleague. Is there something you need, Isshiki-san?
Could you stop being so rude? This is Kei Ariga-san. I don't know the full details, but it seems he's a guest of honor. A guest of honor? I've never heard the name Kei Ariga before. Is he a struggling writer who was invited as a polite gesture? Well, enjoy the kind of fancy food you probably don't usually get to eat.
Whether or not I'm known, the fact that I'm a guest doesn't change. Her comments are over the line.
And besides, no matter how much you spruce up your appearance, the kind of men who would be interested in you won't change. Enough already!
Before I could say anything, Tsukishiro-san spoke up. I've never seen her raise her voice like this, and I was shocked.
It's true that I'm plain-looking and shy. I admit that. But Kei-san is different. He's a wonderful person who supports me and gives me the courage to stand up for myself. There's no one else in the world as kind as him. So please stop mocking Kei-san.
Given what Tsukishiro-san had said before, she likely had never stood up for herself before now. But she raised her voice for me. I could feel that she was slowly growing stronger.
What? How dare you? A plain girl like you? Being nice has nothing to do with a man's worth. My boyfriend is a best-selling author, not some failed writer like yours.
I see. So if I were a successful author, you wouldn't look down on Tsukishiro-san anymore?
What?
It's annoying to lower myself to this person's level, but I've had enough. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I'm Akira Jinguji, the novelist. If you work at the same company, you should at least know my name.
What? Jinguji Akira? You mean the best-selling author?
Yes, I'm a pseudonymous author primarily writing hard-boiled novels. I've published several books with Love Koi, and last year, I reached a cumulative sales of over 1 million copies. I'm attending today as Jinguji Akira's representative. I thought revealing my identity would silence her, but...
If you're going to lie, at least come up with something better.
It seems my revelation only made her more confident. Oh? What makes you think I'm lying?
Because I'm Jinguji Akira's fiancé. He told me he wouldn't be attending this party. And the real Jinguji Akira is much more rugged and handsome than you. You don't look like Jinguji Akira at all. Readers would be disappointed if they found out the man behind those wild novels is someone as dull as you. And for Tsukishiro-san to think you're some kind, wonderful man. Turns out you're just a pathological liar. How can you be so wrong about men?
What makes her so confident to declare that I'm lying? Just then, Akechi-san from Love Koi Publishing approached with a stern expression.
What's going on, Isshiki-san? Your voice isn't suited to a place like this. Oh, Akechi-san! You have to hear this. There's a fake Jinguji Akira here.
Isshiki-san probably thought Akechi-san would side with her.
A fake?
Akechi-san walked over to me and gave me a knowing look. She asked with her eyes if I was okay to reveal the truth, and I nodded quietly.
I understand. So, Isshiki-san, where is this so-called fake? It's him. He claims to be a representative, but he's clearly suspicious. We should call security. You, on the other hand, what are you talking about? This is the real Jinguji Akira. He's attending this party today as his representative. Or are you saying I, his editor, am lying?
Yes, Akechi-san is my editor, and we've met many times for discussions. Only a few people know the true identity of Jinguji Akira, but she's one of them.
But his appearance is completely different from his writing style. It's not uncommon for a man to write shoujo manga, or vice versa. Just because the author's image doesn't match the writing doesn't mean they're fake.
I work under a pseudonym because there's a gap between my style and my true self. It pains me to say this, but as Isshiki-san suggested, my true identity might disappoint readers. That's why I've kept my identity hidden, except from a select few at the publishing house.
No way. So that man is... Wait. You owe Jinguji-sensei an apology.
Isshiki-san, overwhelmed, stumbled away from the scene.
I deeply apologize, Jinguji-sensei. I'll make sure Isshiki-san apologizes to you as well.
No, it's fine. Fortunately, this conversation wasn't overheard since we're in the corner of the room. I would prefer not to deal with her anymore. If you decide to take any action against her, I leave that to your company.
So, it's true then? Arika-san is really Jinguji Akira-sensei?
Tsukishiro-san was still wide-eyed, as if struck by lightning. I quickly turned to her. I'm sorry for keeping this from you until now.
No, as someone working in the publishing industry, I understand. I won't hold it against you. Actually, it all makes sense now. Remember when I mentioned a certain author who always writes thank you notes on his manuscripts? That was actually Jinguji-sensei. I always thought he must be a kind person. Arika-san, you've always been the one encouraging me.
When he told me that story, I secretly hoped that author would be me. But now, I see. You've seen the real me all along, not just Jinguji Akira. the mask of Jinguji Akira that I've been wearing all this time. It's a necessary facade for my career, but at times, it feels suffocating. That's why I think I've always been searching for a place where I can just be Kei Ariga. While we were having that conversation, Isshiki-san was...
Why? Why can't I reach him?
She was frantically dialing her phone, clearly agitated.
What should I do? I gave him 2 million yen!
As she bit her lip, memories of the past came flooding back. Takano, please, help me. There was an earthquake in my hometown, and my family needs a large sum of money to recover. But most of my royalties are tied up in investments, so I can't liquidate them immediately. Please, I'll pay you back as soon as my next royalties come in.
Fine. I guess I have no choice.
In this way, Isshiki-san handed over 2 million yen to a man who called himself Satoru Jinno. This man was the fake Jinguji Akira with whom Isshiki-san was engaged, leading her to assume I was a fraud. Yes, Isshiki-san had fallen victim to a marriage scam.
The account on the messaging app has been deleted, and I have no way to contact him anymore. So was everything Satoru told me a lie? I believed that I was loved by a best-selling author, but he was actually a con man? How could this happen? I put so much effort into my appearance, way more than plain girls like her. Why did this have to happen to me?
Later on, the man who called himself Satoru Jinno was arrested for fraud, and Isshiki-san was able to recover the money. However, because she had a habit of looking down on those she deemed inferior, even though she was a victim, she received little sympathy from those around her. Eventually, she withdrew from society and became a shut-in. But before she did,
Isshiki-san!
Accompanied by Akechi-san, Tsukishiro-san called out to Isshiki-san, and what she said was,
I've been hurt by a lot of the things you said to me, so please, apologize. I'm sorry.
It's certainly selfish to expect others to accept you without putting in any effort yourself. But that doesn't give you the right to look down on someone who's putting effort in a different direction.
I've worked so hard. So what's the difference between Tsukishiro and me?
Unless Isshiki-san can understand this, she'll never have a good relationship in the future. Meanwhile, as for us...
Arika-san, I have something important to say. When I heard you were a best-selling author, I thought maybe I should step aside. But I love Kei Arika-san. Please, would you go out with me?
Her words, spoken from such a close distance that I could almost hear her heartbeat, made my own heart race uncontrollably. Despite my clumsy manner, I opened my mouth quickly. When I first met you, I fell in love at first sight. When I learned how dedicated you were to your work, I liked you even more. I was so happy when you defended me at the party as Kei Ariga. I poured out all my feelings, and then... Miko Tsukishiro-san, I love you too! I will continue to do my best to give you strength and courage, so please, stay by my side! To be accepted as your true self requires the other person to make an effort to understand you. So if you seek that acceptance, you also need to make an effort to understand and accept the other person. We will continue to support each other and nurture this precious relationship where we can both be our true selves.
Hello, Brittany here. So this is one of those stories where I'm actually okay with the main character hiding his profession, so to say, because I think considering how shy she is, she may have ran the other way as fast as she possibly can if she realized he was a best-selling author, thinking she stood no chance. So for once, I actually am okay with this outcome. I don't necessarily think that everyone has to be like a CEO or the best person in the entire world at the end. Like, love can just be love, you know what I mean? Anyways, I liked it, it was very cute, and I hope to see you in the next video.